So if you have been dealing with anger, or if you're a coach who has a client who's dealing with anger and you don't know what to do with it, you don't know how to constructively deal with your own anger or guide a client through their anger, then keep watching. This video is for you. First, I want to say that anger is one of the most amazing emotions. When anger comes up, it's basically saying there's an unmet need, or a boundary has been crossed, or there's an injustice that is not okay. So instead of trying to push anger away, what if anger became your friend? What if anger became an ally on the path, basically saying, hey, this is not okay, and if you want to be an empowered person, this is what needs to take place. So oftentimes we have these unconscious vows, agreements, beliefs that we're not allowed to take a stand for what we actually need. We're not allowed to put up healthy boundaries. You know, life is just filled with injustice, so why not just let it be as it is? And the truth is that sort of anger is a very vertical energy that gets us up on our feet and gets us in our power. If we know how to utilize it as rocket fuel rather than a debilitating emotion that leads to battle. Oftentimes, the source of depression is unexpressed anger. Depression is a very flat emotion. It's a giving up. It's like, I've given up. There's nothing I can do. It's a very powerless feeling. I know I have been there in my life, and it can be so powerless, the feeling, that it can lead to even suicidal tendencies, right? When someone is depressed. And that's the extreme example of that. Really, if you get to the source of depression, oftentimes anger is not being expressed. Anger is so repressed that we're exhausting ourselves into depression and we feel powerless. Depression is oftentimes a signal that the deeper work is to allow, for starters, the anger to constructively come up. And in this video, we're actually going to be going through a very powerful technique or strategy that you can use with yourself and or your clients if you're a coach. Is there anything you want to say about anger before I take them into the technique?
Anger can be your best friend. It actually is the one that can actually eliminate all of the chaos, all the problems, all of the downers in your life.
How?
Because anger, when you're in right relationship with anger, you're in right relationship with boundaries. You know what you want, and you know how to declare it, and you know how to share it.
And what's an example of a time that you felt anger in your life and you expressed it rather than repressed it, and it led to empowerment?
Really, any time in my life that I've been in this place of feeling like people are trying to get something from me or have more of my time, or be in that energy where I feel like they're siphoning and I'm getting drained, being able to come into this place of no longer fearing what they're going to think about me or if they're going to still like me, and come to this place of what's more important is that I take care of me, that I feel okay in the midst of it, that I am taking care of my inner child first. And that means I'm willing to say, look, it's not okay. Right now I'm not available. This is when I am available. This is when I'm not available.
So just to be clear, expressing anger healthily does not involve yelling at somebody. It actually is to avoid any kind of battle, war. It's to keep peace in our world, in yourself, in your relationships. And the way to healthily express anger is either within yourself with practices that I'm going to give you today as an example, or with a therapist or coach or somebody who can support you in responsibly expressing your anger without dumping it on another human being. Even if it feels like they deserve it sometimes, that will just create more war, more battle. All right, you guys, so here is the anger release technique. Are you ready? Are you ready? If you've been feeling anger lately, the first thing to do is ask yourself, who has tripped your trigger? Who has triggered your anger? And I want you to think about that person, light a candle, set a powerful intention that you are going to heal at the deepest level, or release the anger from within you, or unhook from any unhealthy patterns. And take out a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to, number one, write a letter. This is your anger letter. So this letter isn't coming from you, and I want to make this very clear. This letter is coming from the anger itself. This is important because there is a distinction, even if you feel extremely angry and you believe you're an angry person or something of that nature. It's important to separate anger from who you actually are. You are the one who can witness the anger. You are not the anger. If you were the anger, you wouldn't be able to see it, and you certainly would be angry all the time. Really important to give the anger a voice as if it's its own entity, as if it's its own energy, because it is. It's almost like weather, like the sunshine, the rain, the thunder, all the different weather patterns are their own unique energy. So first step, give the anger a voice by writing an anger letter to the person for your eyes only. Very important here, for your eyes only. Write a letter to the person who has brought up the anger within you, okay? And I want you to write this letter free of the edit button. Do not reread it. Do not edit it. Don't worry about grammar or punctuation. Don't even worry about it being legible. It could be chicken scratch. Just let all the anger out. All the unspeakable things that you don't ever want to say to this person because you know it would cause battle or hurt them. It's really important to get it out of your system, onto the page, and release it. Let it go. Not to get rid of it, just to get it out of your physical body and onto the page, so you're not having to hold it or carry it or store it in your physical body, okay? Really important. Please note that it's important not to read the letter because it's like digesting it all over again. It's like, let me just suck it right back into my system. So first step is give the anger a voice by writing an anger letter to the person who is making you feel angry right now or bringing up the anger from within you. You're going to shred this letter, okay? You're not going to ever let them see the letter, and you most certainly are not going to reread the letter. It's just simply like a passage in order to release the anger. Once you've written it all out and let it all go, I want you to just pause for a moment. Second step is pause, take a breath, and notice how you feel in your physical body when you allow the anger to have a voice. When you allow the anger to be expressed, just like a weather pattern moving through. It's not personal, it's not who you are, it's just a color of the rainbow shining in for a moment and moving out, okay? So notice how your body feels when you're no longer stuffing it and you're actually letting it move. The third step is now to write down. It is very likely that in the process of writing the anger letter, a lot of different beliefs, judgments, maybe even criticisms on yourself or this person came up. So make a list of all the judgments that got revealed in the process of writing this anger letter. Once you write these judgments down, like, oh my God, I judge myself as crazy for having anger. Oh my God, I judge this person as such a, you fill in the blank, for doing this or doing that. Oh my God, I judge myself for being a people pleaser and, you know, always stuffing my emotions. Whatever the judgments are, let them all come out. The fourth step is to write self-forgiveness statements. Write self-forgiveness statements. So what this looks like is you now have a sheet that you've written the anger letter on. You now have a separate sheet where you've written the judgments down. Now you're going to have a sheet where you write self-forgiveness. And the self-forgiveness, this is a technique from University of Santa Monica, really, really powerful and very simple. And it just says, I forgive myself for judging myself as ... I forgive myself for judging myself as unlovable for having all this anger. Or I forgive myself for judging myself as crazy for having all this anger. Or I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding that ... So I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding that there's something wrong with me for feeling so infuriated. Or I forgive myself for judging so-and-so as X, Y, or Z. So notice that we're not forgiving the person, we're not forgiving anyone outside of ourselves, because really the work in consciousness is self-forgiveness. When we self-forgive, we are releasing that baggage, or what I call rubble in the Diamond Process book, these unconscious beliefs that are not supportive in any way. So think of self-forgiveness as a form of cleaning up your mind and releasing any baggage that you've been carrying. The fifth step, I believe, number 1, write the anger letter. Number 2, take a deep breath. Number 3, write down all the judgments. Number 4, self-forgiveness. Number 5 is to write the truth is statements. The truth is. So now that you know what the forgiveness statements are, what is the truth? The truth is, and these are, you can think of them as affirmations perhaps, but let's say the truth is, I am whole. The truth is, anger is a friend, guiding me when I have let somebody cross a boundary or I have crossed my own boundary. The truth is, we are all doing the best we know how to do. The truth is, I am worthy of setting boundaries and radical self-care and putting myself first. The truth is, and you just go into, the truth is, should feel good, whatever those statements are. And if it seems like a leap to jump from, I must be crazy for having all this anger, to the truth is, I love my anger, if that feels like a jump, then the truth is, every day, more and more, I am coming to greater and greater levels of peace with my feelings and all that I am. Okay, so we want to get to a place of utilizing the anger, having the courage to express that anger, to a place of mining up a new belief structure, a new truth, a new affirmation that allows you to live a healthier life, a more liberated, self-empowered life. So I hope that this supports you in some way. Just know that if you have been feeling anger or depression or any kind of emotion, emotions are allies, they're friends, they're always guiding us on the path. And if you need further support, there's another video on this channel about anger. You can check it out. There are lots of videos. There's an emotional mastery playlist on this channel. And if you got something from this video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like this sort of content. And if you are working with clients, this can be a powerful exercise that you can share with your coaching clients. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already joined this amazing soul family and community devoted to raising our frequencies and making this world better together. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.